If you're fed up of your makeup looking cakey, you need to try out the single layer makeup technique. I'm just starting off with using concealer. I like to use two different concealers, one that's closer to my skin tone and one's a little bit brighter for my under eyes. And then I just take a contour stick across my forehead, my eyes, and on my cheekbones and nose. And then I just fill in the missing gaps with a skin tint or a foundation. And then to finish off, I just go in with a little bit of liquid blush. After you've laid down all of your cream products, you want to make sure to use a setting spray. This stops everything from drying out and makes it so much easier to blend. I like to work from dark to light, and I have a different tool for my contour, my concealer and my blush. And when you're blending it, you want to make sure that you're tapping your products into place so it doesn't become all mixed up. And pretty much the whole time I'm just going between all of my different brushes to make sure that it's well blended. And then once you're happy with how everything is blended, you just want to take a powder. I love the Laura Mercier translucent one, and I set my under eyes and anywhere that gets really oily. And then I used another layer of setting spray just to really melt all of the products together.
The most important thing I tell anyone starting their hair care journey is to find their hair porosity. It's the same thing as knowing your skin type so you can buy products for your skin. You gotta know your hair porosity as well so you can buy products for your hair type. And here's how you're gonna find your hair porosity. We're gonna do a water test, so make sure your hair is freshly washed and clean. Then once it's 100% dry, take a strand of hair and cut it to about 3 inches or the size of your finger and place it in a glass of water. Do not push the hair strand in the water or don't swirl the glass. Just drop the strand and leave it for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, if your hair is floating on the top, it means you have low porosity hair. If it's in the middle, you have medium porosity, and if it's sunk to the bottom, you have high porosity hair.
Solution for the Makeup by Mario bronzing stick, so please don't throw it away.
I can't explain to you how sad I've been that my Makeup by Mario bronzer stick has been broken. I've used it for like 2 months max. Don't mind my hair, I've just been chilling on my couch and I look like a maniac. I have not moved a muscle today, but this got me off the couch because I need to fix my bronzer stick ASAP. Okay, so she said you can open both sides, then this should come apart. Oh, this. I think I did that wrong. Wait a second. Yes. Thank gosh. Okay, let's see. Never mind. This. That's all it took? That was the best TikTok I've ever seen in my life. I love that woman. Right, I just need to make sure I don't lock it. I'm gonna leave it right there. I love TikTok.
Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how I do my at-home lash extensions. Look at them bitches. Looks like I got it done. This is the kit that I used. You can get all of this for $35. This is the CLO2 lashes, and they come in the lengths 10, 12, 14, and I just use 14 and 12. That's it on my lashes. And this is the bond and the seal, and then tweezers. This is how I remove them, by the way. I just take like micellar water, and it easily just comes off like that. First step is to curl the lashes. So I just brushed a little bit of bond on my lashes. You don't need to use too much. You're just gonna take the lash and literally place it right underneath the lash line, like your natural lash line. And make sure it's like close to the last lash that you just applied. So like that. So again, like right underneath the lash line, and make sure they're close together. Brush through with the seal. And that's it.
This video is for you if you're a makeup beginner or you're struggling with your concealer. First off, choose a good concealer. My favorite drugstore concealer for beginners is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And make sure your concealer shade is 2 shades lighter than your usual foundation shade. For concealer, less is more. The basic areas to put your concealer is below your eyes and between your brows. Sometimes people like putting it next to your nose, on your nose and the tip, and where your smile lines are. Now this is the key step. I see a lot of people putting concealer on and then blending it right after. Depending on how thick your concealer is, you need to wait for your concealer to dry a little bit before you blend. This is so that the area that we need to cover actually gets covered. With this concealer, I like to marinate it for 2 to 3 minutes. And then blend it in its area. Blend, blend, blend. And there you go.
Homecoming day is the one day where having older sisters really comes in clutch. Lil sis KK wanted to straighten her hair and get a full-on beat, and we said, girl, we got you. Y'all might be concerned and slightly confused because Malia and I are natural hair advocates. We are pro curly hair, actually just pro natural hair in general, but Michaela wanted to do something different and spice things up, and we were like, girl, of course, but we have to do it the right way so we don't damage your natural hair. We were literally goofing off this entire time, so if you guys hear us cracking jokes, that's why. Tip number 1, use a heat protectant throughout each section. Tip number 2 actually has to do with sections. Do not do big chunks of hair and just try to straighten it, because it's not gonna look good, it's not gonna look sleek. I used to do this all the time, and I thought I was saving time by just doing big chunks of hair, but in reality, I would go over the same piece 2-3 times, and it would still be a little bit curly at the root. So you do small sections and really take your time with it. Tip number 3, and this is something no one wants to hear, but I needed to hear when I was younger, so I'm gonna say it. Try to only use heat a few times a year for special occasions. Michaela likes to straighten her hair around Christmas time and sometimes for homecoming dances. Malia and I used to straighten our hair every single week, and we would touch it up every day before school, and we had so much heat damage, you guys. It was almost like unfixable. Our curl pattern was gone, at least we thought, and then we did bring it back. That was some big sis advice we gave to our younger sister all the time, was don't straighten your hair all the time because it's not worth the damage, and there are ways you can wear your natural hair that are super cute and functional for school. So those are the 3 biggest tips that we have. One last tip I would say is, once you're bringing your hair back to its natural state, use a deep conditioning treatment mask to help bring back some hydration and moisture that was lost while you were straightening it. While we were straightening KK's hair, we actually watched our podcast episode together. We had Michaela on Big Sis Energy, and it's actually going to launch like next week, September 24th at 1 p.m. PST. If you guys did not know, Big Sis Energy has episodes every single Sunday. But in this episode, we were reading your guys' assumptions about our relationship, all 3 of us, and someone said that we were all in a relationship together, like not a platonic relationship, not a sibling relationship, but like a romantic relationship, and this was our reaction.
I've never once thought that triplets or sisters or anyone that was remotely looks alike was dating. No, yeah, that's crossed my mind.
Y'all had some crazy assumptions, I'm not gonna lie, so that's gonna be up next week. But after we straightened Michaela's hair fully, we ended up using a curling iron because she wanted some waves, and of course we gotta give it to her. All of the tools that we used today were from Hot Tools, the straightener and the curling wand as well, except for the blow dryer is actually from Shark. It's Malia and I's absolute favorite. We can get our hair blown out in like 10-15 minutes. Before we went in with the curling wand, we did add a little bit of extra thermal protectant, and at the very end we did go in with some hairspray as well to lock in those curls before we went in with our fingers to rake them out and make them a little bit more wavy and loose. But look how pretty she looked, guys. Little sis KK takes on homecoming part 2 for sophomore year.
Let's do a full face of my favorite drugstore makeup. The amount of compliments I get using the e.l.f. Halo Glow is crazy. This makes my skin literally look like glass. This foundation will literally last on your skin all day. It literally is the perfect combination of matte and dewy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would literally choose this blush over Rare Beauty. Just look at how pretty and pigmented that is. These 2 concealers mixed together, you would literally never know I had dark circles. Stop, look how creamy this is. Already know anything powder related, it's always gonna be Fit Me. This is better than Charlotte Tilbury. I've tried both. The lip liner will always be NYX. Essence and NYX have the best lip products. It's like whenever I use this gloss, I get so many compliments. If you haven't tried this setting spray, what is wrong with you? It's the Milani Make It Last one. It literally makes my makeup last all day. This is a final look, and I literally can't. These products shock me every single time.
Let's talk about 8 makeup tips that will give you the most compliments. Number 1 is to add a serum or moisturizer to your makeup base. This is gonna help get that really like skin-like looking makeup look. Just makes me look like extra natural. Now you've got skincare and makeup all in one. Number 2 is to contour before your concealer. I use Mario in the dark shade, and I love just using this all over my cheekbones, on my forehead. I love doing this before my concealer because then when I do my concealer, it's a lot more sharp and like outlined. I can also make it look a little bit more messy because then the concealer will clean it up. We're in our hot girl fall era, so despite the sun going away and the heat going away, we're still gonna make it work somehow. Number 3 is to set your concealer right after you do it. Concealer is the first thing to crease on our face, so literally you need to set it right as you blend it. I also love putting a little concealer on my eyelids. I know it's a hit or miss for some people, but it makes me feel so much more awake. I like when my concealer is a lot more high coverage and then my face makeup is less coverage. I feel like they go really well together, you know. I forgot primer. Pretend I added primer because I literally forgot. And then like I said, we're gonna set our concealer right away. I use the Tarte all over my face. And then for my under eyes, which is the most important part, I'm using the Huda Beauty powder in the shade Cupcake. This is that light pink color, and I feel like it does a really good job with the yellow undertone concealer. I don't know, call me crazy. Number 4 is powder blush under cream blush. I know I'm gonna get a lot of people saying no to this, but it's true. Patrick Todd does it, I do it. The girls that I'm friends with also do it. I find that the powder blush makes such a good base for the cream blush. And if you're going for the matte look, then definitely do powder blush over cream blush. But in my case, I really
love a good glowy outside part of my face. So what I like to do, just take like a little beauty blender. I take a cream blush and I just go right on top. Does a really good job at bringing that glow back to my face. Super cute. Number 5 is your eyebrows. 3 very important steps when it comes to eyebrows, and if you want to master it, listen up. Start by outlining your brows. It doesn't have to be crazy, but just like start with like the underneath a little bit, draw on some fake hairs. Then you're gonna take a colored gel. I use almost everything Kosas. This is like my favorite thing in the world, especially if I'm just doing a natural makeup look. You're just gonna lightly brush it through like this. And then you're gonna take a clear gel. This is also Kosas, and just kind of extra hold it. You know what I mean? My go-to everyday brow. Right there. Number 6 is to add false lashes to the end of your lashes. I know some people don't want to do this, but literally if you want to emphasize your look and get more compliments on your eyes, it has been game changer for me. I have the lashes I'm wearing right now linked to my bio. I also added like an individual lash in the middle just for like an extra oomph today. I don't know why I was feeling extra crazy. Gotten me like that cat eye effect. I'm like, I just love eyes, and I'm making that like the first thing people look at. So yeah. Number 7 is to add setting spray before and after you set your face with powder. I forgot to show you when I did it earlier, but now that everything's set on my face, I'm gonna go back through again afterwards. Look at the difference, the before and after. It like shuts your pores. On the forehead, just like that. Number 8 is using black eyeliner as not only eyeliner, but eyeshadow. Of course, we're gonna do the OG waterline. The difference, I can't. Don't forget to do your top line. You could also use brown for like a more natural effect, but now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take this to my top lash line. Messy, smudged out line like this. Same to the other side. Now that you have this crazy like thick line, you're gonna take a small brush. I'm using the M443 brush. And you're gonna create an eyeshadow effect by just smudging out all the harsh lines and then sort of like smoking it out. This is the hot girl formula and the easiest. Extra tip, because I love you guys, add some inner corner highlight. Oh my god, you're gonna die. Bravo. Like, you're kidding. And I haven't even added bottom lashes yet. It's my final look. I'm obsessed with it. It was so easy to do. Like, literally took me no more than 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Love you guys. I post these every day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.